It's Valentine's Day, and what says love more than filming a gory horror movie? But what happens when a monster shows up on the set that isn't a special effect at all? In fact, not only is it bigger, scarier, and slimier, but it wants more than just a starring role.
What's that? You want to be scared? Come with me. You will experience tales of horror, ghosts, and death. It is not recommended for the weak at heart. Listen in the dark. It's more fun that way. This is Weekly Spooky.
Well, hello, my spookies. Love is in the scare. It's Valentine's Day. And whether you're spending the day with someone special or just little old me, I'm so happy to have you here. And I've brought you a very, very special Valentine. Our Strickfield maestro and good buddy Rob Fields has cooked up a full novella just for you to enjoy this love day. But before we get to that, I want to say thank you so much for joining me right here on the show. This is what we call the slower time in the spooky. This is the time when the spooky stalwarts stick around for scares every single week, while many of our listeners really only come around in September and October. You are the folks who keep us going and going all year long, and I am very thankful for each and every one of you. But I do have a small request of you. If you're able, now would be a great time to take that step and join our Patreon for as little as $1 a month and get 2 bonus shows every 30 days. That's right. For as little as $1 a month, you get an entirely new series just for you to enjoy, and you get to know you're helping us bring the spooky on the weekly. Just go to weeklyspooky.com and click on Patreon. We really do appreciate it. We're hanging at about 100 backers, and we'd love to break beyond that. And if you want to support us in a way that doesn't cost you a single penny, just leave us a 5-star rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. It does make a big difference. Oh, and I want to mention, this story tonight has a very special cameo. A certain someone appears in the story you just might recognize. So, get yourself comfortable. Bust out that box of chocolates, because we're about to dive into this story after these quick words. Slasher, Valentine Screams by Rob Fields. Perspective, Vicky Valentine. I'm sitting on my throne on my set at Channel 61 in North Ridgeway. Who'd have thought I'd go from being the queen of porn to being both a high-profile scream queen and the queen of the night? Seriously, if you'd have told me years ago that I'd be a premier horror movie star, I'd have asked you what you were smoking and where I could get some. Of course, we all know I'd have eaten those words, huh? Anyway, I'm sitting here in my black ball gown and blood-colored hair, dyed, that makes me look like an evil version of Jessica Rabbit. If you don't know, Google her. I first started playing my Friday night character in the original Veranda Queen of the Night, which was made by the Erie City Players from their university. That movie became such a hit that Channel 61 out of North Ridgeway sat down with the Players and worked out an agreement to get the rights to Veranda for a weekly horror host program. Next, Channel 61 contacted me and asked if I'd consider reprising Veranda every Friday night to feature a horror movie. At our in-person meeting, they presented me with a very generous contract, and the rest was history. I'm currently filming the segments for the Valentine's episode where I'm presenting Lover's Lane. Yeah, that movie that had Anna Faris before anybody knew who she was from her Scary Movie franchise fame. My contract was originally for 1 year, but Channel 61 has since signed me to an extension to continue hosting Up All Night with Veranda. In fact, my show's gotten so popular that I'm doing 2 movies every Friday night now. I already did my segments for the first movie, which was Valentine. After I finish my final segment, my director's happy with my performance, as always. This time, my girlfriend, Bethany Mirren, accompanied me. You see, after I finish taking a shower and putting on street clothes, my honey and I will be driving to Ridgeway Heights to attend the St. Valentine's Day Massacre horror convention, where the world premiere of Slasher, Valentine Screams will be screening. When we filmed the original Slasher, it was just a college project that the Corgan twins, Jesse and Jenny, put together. The movie was a movie within a movie. Last year, we filmed scenes at the convention for Slasher 2, Valentine's Day. Along the way, Bethany and me encountered people from the backwoods of Strickfield in the form of ghouls. No shit, ghouls are very real. Victoria, the matriarch of her family, had this giant of a son named Flint. Apparently, he fell in love with me while watching me on Channel 61, believing me to really be Veranda. Long story short, I was kidnapped and taken to their mansion in the backwoods of Strickfield, where Victoria damn near turned me into a ghoul myself. Fortunately, Bethany and the Corgan twins came to my rescue. Afterwards, we showed those ghouls that you never mess with people who make slasher movies for a living. Now, the third movie in the slasher series will have its world premiere at the St. Valentine's Day Massacre Horror Con. It's already got a theatrical run lined up with regular showtimes. Come on, you just knew there would be another slasher, right? As long as the movies keep making money. Like I said, Bethany and me are gonna be heading to Ridgeway Heights to spend the weekend at the con, to be guests and sign autographs and sit through the new slasher screening. I'll even be wearing my black ball gown to be Veranda. As soon as Bethany and me arrive at the Hilton, we're already checked in thanks to our smartphone apps, and our phones also double as our room keys. As we're about to turn and head to our room, "Vicky! Bethany!" a familiar voice calls out. We both turn to see the Corgan twins coming toward us. We put our bags down and exchange hugs. Now, normally Bethany and me like to just have some alone time on Thursday night since we both have very busy schedules. I'm going around and making more and more horror movies, and Bethany's been busy in my old profession as a porn star. Looks like tonight we're going to make an exception. After Bethany and me put our bags in our room, we meet up with everybody in the hotel bar to hang out. Thursday nights are the calm before the storm, if you will. Yeah, there are horror fans who come on Thursday night to party and meet up with people they know. Dealers come to set up in the big room, which is where many of us will be sitting and doing our meet and greets and photos. The Corgan twins tell everybody that drinks are on them tonight. Anyway, this is the present. What I'm sure all of you want to know is what happened during the filming of Slasher Valentine Screams. I'm sure we're all going to be hanging out in the hotel bar for quite a while, so let's go back in time, shall we? Last year, I'm finishing a scene from my latest movie, Spoiled Brat, another slasher from the Corgan twins. In this one, I play this bored housewife who's just so unhappy with my husband, forget that he gives me whatever I want. So I go out and have a few affairs. Next thing I know, bodies are piling up because of them. Now I'm in the final scene where the killer... You know what? No, I'm not going to say how this ends. That wouldn't be fair to all of you planning on seeing it, especially after both Fangoria and Rue Morgue magazine did big write-ups on it. After we wrap, I'm taking a shower and washing off all the fake blood and makeup. When I finish, I get dressed and come out to find my girlfriend, Bethany Mirren, waiting for me as she's talking with the Corgan twins. And then, things are about to get a little odd because now I'm seeing Enrique Coutos here, too. In case you've never heard of this guy, he's an independent filmmaker from Dayton, Ohio. What's he done? Ever hear of Babysitter Massacre? How about Scare Waves? Or The Haunted House on Sorority Row? Maybe his found footage series. He also directed Boggy Creek the series. Okay, there's a good chance some of you have at least heard about Babysitter Massacre. I know Bethany and me both have. In fact, the two of us have a little bit of a history with Mr. Couto. It was around the time when Slasher 2 opened in theaters that Bethany and me were filming Babysitter Massacre: Daddy's Little Killer together. Yeah, Enrique Couto took the first book in the series written by David O'Hanlon and turned it into a full-length feature film. I played Larkin Combs and Bethany played Aaron Mercer. Let's just say Enrique got his money's worth out of both of us, not to mention significant screen time in our sexy birthday suits. Bethany sees me and gives me that look that says I'm probably not gonna like what's coming. What's going on? I ask the twins. We're still gonna shoot Slasher 3, right? Oh, definitely, Jesse Corgan assures us. In fact, after our little powwow here, we're all going to be taking off and heading to Ridgeway Heights. Okay, cool, I tell her. Then I point to Enrique. But what's he doing here? Jenny Corgan smiles. Well, that's what this powwow's about. There's going to be a little change. We're not going to be directing Slasher 3 like we originally planned after all. Oh, does that ever get Bethany's head in a whirl? Excuse me? What? Jenny and Jesse both look regretful. A little. Yeah, it turns out the special effects we're planning for this movie are going to be some of my best work yet, and with the new creature suit we're using for the movie, I'm gonna need Jesse's help to get everything off smoothly. Bethany and me look at each other. When we did our Babysitter Massacre film with Enrique Couto, the Corgan twins did the special effects. Actually, Jenny did them and Jesse assisted. I mean, Enrique really wanted some great effects for his movie. He'd seen what Jenny could do for many of the Corgans' movies and had a meeting with them. The hen man got his money's worth, no two ways about it. Getting back to now, Jesse says, since it'll take the both of us to do Jenny's special effects for the new slasher, we hired Enrique to direct it. You both okay with that? Jenny finishes. Bethany and me look at each other again. Yeah, we're both gonna be in a world of shit. Perspective, Bethany Mirren. Vicky and I are still looking at each other. Then we turn back to look at Enrique. Hell no, we both say together. Enrique's jaw drops. Aw, come on! Don't tell me you're both still sore about all those rewrites for Daddy's Little Killer. I point right at him. For your information, Vicky and I both read David O'Hanlon's original book. Nowhere is it written that Larkin or Aaron are both naked in any way. Okay, I get that I was supposed to make like I was giving my hubby movie theater head, which was in the book, but the book never had anything about Aaron having a full-on sex scene with Britt, let alone a few of them, or Larkin having a few fuck-arounds with a few of the other guys in the story, Vicky adds. Although, kudos on making one of them Larkin's new boyfriend, I did like that. Enrique raises his finger. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I never once heard either of you tell me no. He lowers his finger. Besides, how many times have you two been naked in front of a camera before doing my movie? He laughs a little. Vicky Valentine, you're an ex-adult film star. Bethany Mirren, also known as Belinda Barnett, you're a current one. And you two are in a relationship, so being naked should feel natural to the both of you. Vicky points sharply at him. Then why don't you get naked on camera? 'Cause I damn sure ain't as sexy as you two fine ladies. He answers without hesitation. Also, you should know by now that movies don't always emulate their books one for one. To describe Enrique Couto, he's one of the most unusual people you'll ever meet. He always wears a Hawaiian shirt open with a black horror t-shirt underneath, usually something with Joe Bob Briggs, weird pants that I think his mom must have made for him, and Crocs. He's got long hair, wears circular lensed glasses with bright green frames, has a swashbuckler's mustache, and his beard hair's braided to make it point straight out. Oh, but I ain't letting Enrique off so fast. Okay, you're directing Slasher 3, but I wouldn't put it past you to rewrite the Corgan twins script to make sure we show even more skin. He laughs. My contract specifically states I can't change the scenes that the Corgans have already written. Vicky glares at him now. But you're up to something, I just know it. Enrique sighs. Look, you've both been paid. I've been paid. Now we just need to make the movie, and we're gonna do that at the con. He quickly raises his finger. Oh, I almost forgot. The Corgans told me we actually have an Academy Award winner working with us on this movie. Oh, bullshit, I groan. No, it's true, Jesse says. Remember Lizzie Jones from the original Slasher? I believe she goes by Elizabeth Jones now. Jenny corrects her. Enrique takes over. Well, I think we all know she's won 2 Oscars for Best Actress. Then what the fuck's she doing shooting Slasher 3 with us? I ask. She didn't want anything to do with us again once Hollywood signed her. My agent told me she didn't want to be involved with Slasher 2 since a porn star was involved, and I wasn't even acting in the goddamn movie. Hello, Bethany's acting in this next movie now, Vicky reminds everybody. Then she raises her finger. I got it from a few reliable sources. Lizzie turned out to be another Hollywood diva who thought she could write her own paychecks since she won her Oscars. Except she ain't been in Hollywood long enough and didn't have enough movies under her belt, so... Jesse nods. Sounds about right. As for what Lizzie's doing in our movie, her agent negotiated with us to get her a part in it. Lizzie even signed her contract. Jenny adds, supposedly if Lizzie does Slasher 3, that can put her back on the map for some bigger movies, because she'd be starring with you, Vicky. Let's face it, you're actually a bigger name than Lizzie Jones right now. I thought Vicky always was, I say. Hell, Vicky here had top billing in the original movie. I point to Enrique. I still say he plans on hijacking your script. Again, Enrique cannot rewrite our movie in any way, Jesse reminds us. Hey, come on, ladies, Enrique says in a suave tone. How bad do you think I really am? Vicky and I both look at each other again. Yeah, we're totally fucked. After the meeting's over, we leave the house where Spoiled Brat just wrapped and get in our cars to leave Strickfield. I already packed mine in Vicky's bag so we wouldn't have to stop by our apartment at Strickfield Cove. After a drive, we're in Ridgeway Heights and pulling in at the Hilton where the St. Valentine's Day Massacre Horror Con is going to be taking place this Valentine's weekend. Valentine's Day itself is Sunday. On the way, Vicky and I checked into the hotel on our apps. We're ready to hit our room and skip the front desk completely. As soon as Vicky and I reach our room, we go in and put our bags down. Vicky falls back on our bed and stretches herself. I really want to get drunk tonight, especially after finding out Kuto's directing our new slasher. I get on the bed with the love of my life and look deep into her eyes. We're easing our arms around each other before I savor those sweet, delicious lips of hers. This coming Valentine's Day will be 1 year that Vicky and I have been together as a full-on couple. Ironic, huh? Vicky and I practically hated each other when we first did Slasher. How the fuck did the two of us ever lower the walls and even become friends? How did we even become roommates? Like I said, we're still living in our apartment together at Strickfield Cove. Fuck, it really hurts in the pit of my tummy whenever Vicky's near me. I can't believe how much I've fallen for her. I wanted her so bad I tried convincing her to come back into porn with me. Then she showed me that wasn't necessary. You okay? I ask her when we stop kissing. She gazes at me. I am now. You always know how to keep me away from the hotel bar. Well, if you really want to get drunk, I'm sure we can go, I start to say. Our eyes meet again. Then Vicky and I kiss with more passion and hunger. Before long, our clothes are coming off. At least the sex my honey and I have is completely honest, as in, no cameras, no scripts, and pure emotions. I know I'm Vicky's first real relationship, and I'm always trying to do right with her. I don't want her to ever regret being with me. She told me she trusts me completely and doesn't care in the slightest that getting laid is my day job. I'm the one you always come home to at the end of the day, she said. And she's 1,000% right. After Vicky and I fuck a couple of times, we're under the covers and holding each other. I still say Enrique Couto's got something up his sleeve for Slasher 3, Vicky says. I laugh a little. I don't doubt it. The question is, what exactly will he do? He probably already knows how he's getting more nudity out of us, I'm sure. Then we both hear chimes on our smartphones. Vicky reaches over and picks up hers. It's Couto already. He wants to start filming some scenes tonight. Fucking hell, I groan. I was hoping to have a nice, quiet night with you before the storm this weekend. We'll be okay, baby, Vicky assures me. I groan as we both get out of bed and put our clothes back on. Before we leave, I ease Vicky to me so we can share one more kiss before heading out.
More scares to come. Weekly Spooky will be right back.
Perspective, Elizabeth Jones. I'm here in one of the conference rooms reserved for the slasher people and arguing with Enrique Couto about the script. My agent, Doug Benz, is standing here with me. I don't care what this motherfucking script says, Couto, I yell. I will absolutely not be doing any nude scenes whatsoever. I already showed my bouncing boobies in the original slasher. You want me fully naked? Then get a fucking body double. Yes, Couto still wants to fuck with me. One more time. Read your contract. According to the Corgans, everybody who signed a contract for this movie agreed to do nudity. I'm pretty sure I don't have any body doubles that resemble you, Katherine Heigl. I put my finger right in his face. Oh, you watch who you're talking to, buddy. I'll have you cleaning shithouses for a living instead of directing movies. Then I see Vicky Valentine and Bethany Mirren. How about you get one of those bitches right there to do my nudity? Because again, I ain't taking my motherfucking clothes off and you can't make me. Couto sighs. Look, Lizzie. Elizabeth! You will call me Elizabeth Jones, I yell. And last time, I ain't doing any fucking nudity. He turns away from me to address those two porn sluts. Are you even listening to me? As Couto starts talking to Vicky and Bethany, I lash out and shove him. You will not turn your back on me when I'm talking to you. I'm Elizabeth Jones, you hear me? Elizabeth Jones! Couto suddenly turns his attention back to me. I don't care if you're Angelina Jolie. He points right at me now. Everybody here signed contracts for this movie. Every actor here is doing nudity in the new slasher. I'm gonna lay this out for you in simple terms. You don't fulfill the terms of your contract, then I'm sure the Corgan twins will be seeing you in court. It's called breach of contract. Couto points to Doug. Your agent here should be telling you what I'm telling you. Speaking of talking, you realize everything you said to me was a waste of time, right? Or weren't you listening when I mentioned the Corgan twins? They wrote the new slasher and had the contracts drawn up. Again, everybody signed them, including you, before I was even involved. The Corgan twins come and stand with Enrique. That's right, Jenny says. We watched you sign yours together. Maybe you should have read your contract first. Couldn't have said it better myself, Jessie agrees. Then she turns to Couto. Sorry we're late. We had to make sure we were good for the scene you said you wanted to shoot first. We're ready when you are, director. Couto nods. Then I turn to Doug. Is that all you're gonna do is just stand there? What the fuck am I even paying you for? I growl and walk away from everybody and slip into the dealer room. Doug follows behind me, trying to talk to me. What a fucking weasel. Perspective, Enrique Couto. Lizzie Jones ain't the first prima donna I've had to work with, and she won't be the last. At least now I know what I'll be covering on my next episode of the Working Filmmaker podcast. Now I'm just waiting for everybody to get into their costumes. Soon, Vicky and Bethany show up in theirs. For the record, Vicky Valentine's not playing the Scream Queen killer. In fact, she's not in this movie this time. However, her skin-tight white dress is an homage to her being the Scream Queen in the second movie, and it's much shorter. Before, the dress went down to her knees. Now it's short enough to where all she has to do is bend over enough and you can see her underwear, if she's even wearing any. Not only that, that dress literally clings to her body. She has matching stiletto heels on. She's playing a character named Candy Graham. Bethany's playing a character named Roxy Willis. After reading the Corgan script, it turns out the new slasher is going to be a creature feature and not an actual slasher movie. Guess that's why many of the actors who died off in the first two movies are back for this one. Oh, and the 3 is being dropped from the title entirely. Is everything okay? Bethany asks. I shrug. Hey, I told Lizzie what I needed to tell her. Bethany's wearing a pair of tight-fitting jeans, sandals, and a tight top. I can tell you the Corgans are promising more blood, more gore, more gruesome kills, and more skin. Seeing many of their movies, the Corgans have no filter when it comes to exploitation. In fact, the late, great Russ Meyer is their role model and inspiration. Enrique wants to shoot one of the kills, Jenny says. You said you got it all set up, I ask the twins. See for yourself, Jesse replies. We all head to one of the conference rooms the Corgans reserved for us to shoot the movie. We go in and I am loving what I'm seeing. Nice. It's also here where we find a few of the other actors waiting, and then the look on Bethany's face when she sees him. Cody? She says like her stomach just dropped. Long time no see, Belinda Barnett, Cody King sneers. He's from the original movie, too. He's still sneering when he nods. But I can see you whenever I want since I'm one of your biggest fans. Loved your work in Things That Come in Threes. You do all your own stunts? Vicky's about to come to her defense, but Bethany stops her and steps up to Cody. Fuck you, asshole. You had your chance with me, but you decided I wasn't good enough for you. And what I do with my life is just that. My life. I'm a porn star now and fucking proud of it. Then she sneers herself. Did you bring your little slut bitch with you? Or did she catch you getting head from another girl the way I caught you and dumped your ass? Jenny points right at Cody. We talked about this. If you can't be professional around Bethany or Vicky, then you can take a walk and forfeit your paycheck. Enrique can play your part if necessary. Cody's still sneering, but he raises his hand. Nah, we're good. It's all water under the bridge. Like I said, I'm a big fan of these two chicks now. I get everybody's attention. Okay, people. Then I explain the scene and what I expect from my actors. After that, I let the Corgans explain what they're doing to make the effects for the first scene work. I nod approvingly. Love it. Okay, places, everyone. Cody's still going to be in other parts of the movie, but I'm really itching to see what the Corgans do with these next-level practical effects Jenny came up with, especially that new lizard suit she's been working on for the past year. When I'm sure everybody's where they need to be, I call out, Action! Bethany and Vicky both have a little blood spattered on them after running into the lizard monster. They're acting all scared after narrowly escaping in an earlier scene we have to shoot yet. Probably tomorrow after the Slasher 2 screening. Anyway, the girls know nobody here at the St. Valentine's Day Massacre Horror Con can help them. The lizard monster can easily be right out in the open, since a lot of people like to cosplay at these cons. You should see Cinema Wasteland over in Cleveland twice a year. Wow, that sweat Jenny made up and sprayed the girls with is amazing. Getting the Corgan twins to do the effects for Babysitter Massacre Daddy's Little Killer sure made that movie a hit. Then Bethany and Vicky see the lizard monster that got into the convention after escaping from a government convoy. I already shot those scenes with the Corgans before we went to pick up Vicky and Bethany. The creature's got realistic-looking blood on the teeth and claws, especially on the chest. Man, just seeing Vicky Valentine running in those heels, it's like she's running in tennis shoes. God damn you, get away! Bethany screams at the monster. Get fucked, Vicky adds. Leave us alone! The girls just stand there and look really scared when the monster roars. Just seeing them makes me want to shiver. The girls turn and run again. Soon Cody snatches their arms and pulls them into a room. Not the kill one yet. I've been looking all over this fucking hotel for you two, Cody rumbles. Sam's dead, Bethany gasps. Cody looking stupid now. Huh? That fucking lizard monster thing got her, Vicky tries telling him. Bullshit, there ain't no fucking giant lizard walking around here, Cody fires back. Don't think I didn't see you bitches getting high outside the main doors earlier. Bethany and Vicky soon turn him around. Then Bethany points and demands, Then what the fuck is that? When one of the hotel staff approaches the lizard creature, it quickly slashes 4 big marks down his chest. After screaming, blood and organs drop fast. The staff person groans and falls over dead. Jenny's practical effects are spot on so far. Cody and the girls run where they're supposed to. They think they've lost the lizard creature. Soon they all run into the indicated room. As Cody tries to slam the doors, the creature practically runs him over coming in. Cody screams when the lizard quickly slashes him with its claws. Then it slashes at him a few more times. Cody acts really hurt and falls onto the table in what's supposed to be a conference room. The girls scream and try to help Cody, but Vicky gets knocked on her ass. After Bethany helps Vicky up, the girls have to step away from Cody to save themselves. Cody keeps backing up on the table, blood running out of his wounds and collecting on the floor first, then the table. I gotta call a quick cut for the Corgans to switch to practical effects. When everything's ready, I call action again. The lizard monster jumps up on the table, landing on its hind feet. Then it grabs Cody's arms and pulls him up to where it can look him right in the eyes. Suddenly, the monster opens its mouth and brings its whole jaws right down over Cody's head. The big chomp will be added in post-production. The creature shakes the fake body to make it look like Cody's struggling before it draws back to rip the head clean off and drop the body. Blood squirts out of the neck until the body lands on its back. From there, more fake blood starts pouring out of the neck. The creature swallows Cody's entire head in one easy gulp. The sound will also be added in post. Jesus Christ, that thing fucking ate Cody's head! Vicky whimpers. Bethany screams, and her pants are now getting wet in a hurry. Both of the girls scream when they realize Cody's blood just got on them. To end the scene, the girls scream like they've never screamed and run past the creature to escape the room. Then the creature licks its entire mouth clean before jumping off the table and back into the hallway to pursue the girls again. And cut! I yell excitedly. Jenny Corgan comes out from under the table. Jesse had to be inside the lizard suit to make those effects work. Cody himself came out from under the table, head still intact. We need to do another take? Bethany asks when her and Vicky come back in. Nope, we got it, I say. Now I'm staring right at Vicky. What? She stammers. Honey, Bethany tries to tell her. Love seeing your big, beautiful tits in the flesh, Vicky, Cody sneers approvingly. Like I've said before, I definitely fuck you, Jenny purrs, then laughs. Bethany points right at her. You keep dreaming. Vicky looks down and sees the top of her dress came down just enough to fully expose her breasts. Then I notice the 2 camera guys I brought with me are still filming. Well, I sure ain't gonna say nothing. After Vicky repacks her breasts, we leave to let everybody clean up and get ready for the next scene.
Don't go away. Weekly Spooky will be right back.
Perspective, Elizabeth Jones. I'm walking around the dealer room, Doug keeps trying to tell me I can possibly be sued if I don't agree to fulfill my obligations and take my clothes off for my scenes. I told you I wanted to negotiate a no nudity clause in my contract, I snap. What part about that did you have a hard time understanding, you fucking weasel? I'm listening to him and his pathetic excuses, and then one of the dealers is unpacking some... Are these real gold and jewelry? I ask the man. The man of probably 50 turns and looks at me. Yes, they are. I pick up the piece that looks like some kind of a lizard man. Looks similar to that shit creature being used in the movie. I can't believe they're making the new slasher a creature feature instead of the traditional slasher movies those stupid horror fans love so much. Anyway, this lizard's really shiny gold with emerald green eyes and ruby red teeth and claws. I don't know what it is about this thing, but I really want it. What are you asking for this? I ask. The man looks at me. Are you Elizabeth Jones? I try smiling for him. Why, yes, I am. I saw you in that movie, My Summer of Love, the man tells me. I never knew you spoke such fluent French. Very well done. You deserve to win that Oscar for your performance. Thanks, I managed to say. You don't seem too proud. Is something wrong? He asks. I sigh. I just don't consider that movie to be my crowning achievement. I guess the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences thought different. I never got nominated for a single other award. So why would I get nominated for Best Actress at the Oscars, right? So I go. I didn't even have an acceptance speech prepared, because I knew I didn't have a snowball's chance in hell of winning that statue. Brad Pitt actually had to smack my arm to get me to snap out of it and go on stage to get my award. I'm glad you liked the movie and everything, sir. But I could have won both my Oscars for better movies than the two I won for. Sorry. When I put the golden lizard back on the table, the man picks it back up and hands it to me. No charge. I shake my head quickly. No, I can't take this from you, sir. At least tell me how much you want for it. I promise you I can afford it. No charge, the man repeats again. I insist. It's not every day I meet a celebrity such as yourself, Ms. Jones. Please. I nod once and accept the golden lizard. Thank you so much. He smiles. Isley Tinker, at your service. Turns out I had some wares that I felt would potentially sell at this convention, so I bought a few tables to set up here, and I have the privilege of having Elizabeth Jones as my first customer here, even though the convention hasn't officially opened yet. I give him a little smile. At least let me give you an autograph. Mr. Tinker brightens up. In that case, I would consider that a fair trade. He gives me a convention flyer to sign. I even let him get a few pictures with me. We talk for a little bit longer before I let him get back to work. I tell him I'll be at the convention all weekend long. As I'm dropping the golden lizard into my purse, I feel a sharp prick on my finger and see that one of the sharp ruby teeth cut me. Mr. Tinker asks if I'm okay. Seeing it's not a serious injury, I tell him I'm fine and leave. Doug starts talking to me again. Seriously, why do you hate the fact that you won your Oscars? I groan hard. Because My Summer of Love and Sophie were both films I had to get fully naked and do lots of sex scenes for. I swear to fucking Christ, the only jobs you ever get for me anymore are ones where I have to be in all my naked glory for the whole world. Doug's silent for a little bit. Then he says, but look at all the millions of dollars you made. If it wasn't for those movies and all the others I got for you, you wouldn't be living large right now. I groan again and storm out of the dealer room. As Enrique Couto is calling out for me, I raise my middle finger to him without even acknowledging him and march straight to my room. You better be talking to her agent, man, I hear one of those Corgan bitches yelling. I keep right on going as Doug is back to telling me the Corgan twins will take me to court over my not doing the nude scenes in their movie. I tell him to fuck off and go spend the night somewhere else tonight. As soon as I open my door to my room, Doug shoves me inside and comes in with me. After slamming the door, he points right at me. "You are the most ungrateful bitch I have ever had the misfortune to represent," he yells. "You asked me to get you a movie where no one would know you all that well. The best I could get you was this Midwestern horror movie. And I told you I wasn't taking my fucking clothes off," I remind him. "But you never thought to negotiate that no nudity clause, did you?" I'm really frustrated now. Again, what in the actual fuck am I paying you for if you're not going to do what I say? I drop my purse on the bed. "You didn't even read that motherfucking script, did you? It's not just me shaking my bouncing globes for one scene like in the original slasher. No, I have to be full tits, ass, and cooch." I raise my finger. "And I'm also supposed to be naked with a guy for 2 scenes. 2 scenes! I roar and shove Doug back now. "Just fuck you. Get out of my room now." Suddenly, Doug shoves me again. Then he comes at me and forces me down on the bed. The next thing I know, he's right on top of me. Before I can react, he rips my blouse and bra open together to expose my huge breasts. Then he takes hold of my miniskirt and yanks both it and my panties away. "You bastard!" I shriek. He quickly gets on top of me and inside me. I hate this fucking weasel so much, yet I married him. I'm reminded of that when he fucks me the way he knows I need to be fucked, reminding me of why I'll probably never be able to divorce him. But Doug fucked up big time with this movie, so I quickly turn him over and sit on him. I'm going to vent my aggression and fuck his goddamn brains out. "Okay, you fucking weasel," I glare down at him. "I'll do that slasher movie. But oh, you're gonna owe me real big for this one." He tries to get me on my back again, but I stay right where I am. "No way, Doug. I'm gonna fuck you within an inch of your life. I fucking hate you so goddamn much." No, I ain't lying about hating Doug, but he's so fucking good in bed. Perspective, Bethany Mirren. Enrique asks us to shoot one more scene tonight. At first, I thought it was the end for me since I was supposed to die horribly on the convention floor. 2 things prevented that. 1, the convention's not officially open until tomorrow, and 2, the Corgans forgot to give me a copy of the updated script. I had to hear from Enrique that I've now been elevated from being the rich, big-titted bimbo to being the lead and the final girl. So the Corgans suggested Enrique shoot the scene where Cody and I are supposed to fuck. This way we can finish his big scenes tonight. Before we shoot it, the Corgans ask me if I'm going to be okay doing the nudity with him. Even Vicky asks me. I quickly turn to her and take her hand. "It's not what you think, baby. I don't love him. Not anymore. Not after what he did. I love you, Vicky. Only you." Every time I tell Vicky I love her, or how much I love her, it makes her cry a little. It's very hard for her to say she loves me back, but the tears are her way. Personally, I'm quite okay with that. "I positively will not do the scene if you're not okay with it," I tell her. Vicky leans in and kisses me. Then she says, "You think I don't trust you by now, Bethany? We'll be together for 1 full year this Sunday." She cries a little again. Then I hug her to me. "I love you." She squeezes me back before we let go of each other. I tell the Corgans I'll shoot the scene. According to the script, we're supposed to fuck after getting really drunk, before that mutant lizard shows up to kill us. We go to one of the hotel rooms where we're shooting the scene. Cody and I act like we've been doing some heavy partying and got really smashed. I can tell Cody's really looking forward to getting naked with me again after all this time. Sure, I could get Cody to fuck me for real to really sell the scene. I mean, making adult movies is my day job, right? But I refuse to give Cody the satisfaction. If he truly didn't know what he had when he was with me, then that's his big loss. Cody and I drink another fake cocktail before we start kissing, hot and heavy. Before long, we have each other naked. When I feel Cody's trying to go into me, I quickly switch positions. I manage to last long enough for the mutant lizard to show up and come at us. It cuts me on the arm before Cody and I escape and run in different directions. No clothes. Once Enrique calls cut, we both come back into the room and get our clothes back on. Cody sneers at me again as I'm getting dressed. Oh, he's definitely pissed at me since he didn't get what he wanted. Fuck him. I take Vicky and leave when Enrique says it's a wrap for tonight. Vicky and I enter our room, and I lock the door. I need my girl so badly right now that I grab her to me and kiss her passionately. Vicky's really shaking in my arms, telling me she's crying again. When we stop, she sniffles and lowers herself to unclasp and remove her heels. She's still crying softly. When she stands up and waits for me to come to her, the top of her skin-tight white dress is already down again, exposing her beautiful breasts. Vicky and I kiss with even more fire and passion as we work to undress each other. Go figure, I'm fucking lots of guys and girls alike when I'm on porn sets, but that's all they are. Just very fat paychecks and complimentary copies of the finished movies. But I never, ever feel the fire and electricity I get when I'm intimate with Vicky. Soon we both get on the bed, where we have all the time in the world now. Well, at least until 8 in the morning when we have to show up and shoot some more scenes. Perspective, Elizabeth Jones. I'm waking up when I feel I'm stiff as a board. I'm trying to turn myself so I can drop my feet on the floor and head to the bathroom and pee. I can hear Doug on my side and feel his arm draped over me. Yeah, he'll be dead tired until morning. Hey, he really pissed me off, so I made him pay by giving him more of me than he could handle. I wouldn't get off until I was completely satisfied. What the fuck? Why do I feel like I'm being held back? Doug ain't strong enough to keep me all to himself. He's a fucking wimp. I finally force myself to turn over and plop right onto the floor. I want to start yelling again, but I'm finding I can't say a damn thing. I'm trying to turn on to my ripe ass and sit up, but why do I feel so goddamn stiff? Just then I hear some groaning and see Doug trying to sit up. He groans again and manages to get up. He turns on the lamp and yawns. He's just wearing his boxers as he turns to look at me, expecting me to be sleeping. Then Doug utters an ultra-high-pitched scream. I mean, I'm supposed to be the one who does that. It's part of my job when it's in the script, right? But Doug's literally screaming like a high school girl in some stupid horror movie. I put my hands on the bed to pull myself up. Holy Jesus Christ, what the fuck? I got these big-ass hands. If they're even hands at all, they look more like claws, maybe. I feel like I'm heavy as fuck. Hey, I usually eat good since I only eat one huge meal a day. Even then, I still have my girlish figure. When I pull myself to my feet, Doug screams like a little bitch again and goes to the door. He throws it open and makes more whiny bitch screams when he runs out into the hallway. Now I'm able to better move myself, so Are those my feet? And what the fuck is that wagging I feel at my ass? Then there's the fact that I'm all scaly, and my head's hitting the ceiling. The next thing I know, I'm squeezing myself out into the hallway. Now I'm hearing more people crying out and screaming when they see me. I'm trying to speak again. All that keeps coming out is this hissing noise. Seriously, what in the actual fuck is going on here? Then I see one of the side doors to the hotel and turn to it. I have to pass by one of the elevators to reach it. Wouldn't you know it? The fucking elevator door opens up and these people come out. One of them almost walks right into me. Now I'm looking down at them as they look up at me. Then the people laugh? All I have to do is see the cans and bottles of beer and know these are convention people getting their drunk on Thursday night. One of them turns to his group. Hey, this is a horror convention, right? Is this place even pet friendly? a chick asks. Yeah, Jenny's got her little chihuahua in her room, another guy answers. Then one of the fucktards points a shaky finger at me. Oh, nice costume. You're in that movie being filmed here, ain't ya? I open my mouth and hiss loudly at them. Then I start moving my now huge ass and head to the door. Now one of them laughs and tries grabbing me from behind. I quickly make my new tail swing to give that idiot the message. When he backs off, I finally reach the door and find it's locked. This might be a good sign, though. I don't want to run away from the hotel. No, I need to find somebody who can help me. But do I want to try looking for Doug? Did he really scream like a girl? What a fucking weasel. Just the same, I better find the fucker. I make myself turn around in the hallway. When I do, those drunks are still looking right at me. When I hiss loudly at them again, they step aside and let me walk. I'm going to have to walk this hotel until I can find Doug or somebody else who might be able to help me. I just know I can't go on like this. Still, I'm thinking I should be okay since people think it's someone in a lizard suit for the new slasher movie. Better use that to my advantage like I do with my sexuality.
Are you afraid? Good. Weekly Spooky will be right back.
Perspective, Vicky Valentine. I'm waking up more as Bethany and me are showering together. I just know I need some coffee. Bethany and me share plenty of kisses as we wash each other. I remember doing scenes like this back in my porn days. It feels so much different with Bethany, though. To be honest, I never really thought Bethany and me would make it to 1 year in our relationship. I remember my friends back in high school telling me shit like, oh, you never want to marry your first relationship. Even my mom told me her first relationship didn't last 1 year. But Bethany and me are coming up on 1 year on Valentine's Day, this Sunday. When Bethany and I stop kissing, she says to my lips, I love you so much. Then she wipes my fresh tears away. Very few times have I ever been able to verbally tell Bethany that I love her back. It's okay, baby, Bethany whispers and kisses me again. We get out of the shower and get dressed. It's going on 20 minutes to 8. One thing I can tell you about Enrique Couto right now is that you never show up late to set unless you've got a goddamn good reason for it. To him, you showing up late to set is disrespect. I saw him go off on some guy who was late for 3 days straight in Babysitter Massacre Daddy's Little Killer. Hen had had enough and let them know about it on no uncertain terms. Let's just say the guy was never late again after that. In fact, it's 10 minutes to 8 when Bethany and me make it to the room where we shot Cody's death scene. And the shit is gonna hit the fan. Enrique points right at Doug. Where the hell is Lizzie? He marches right over to him. You're supposed to be her agent, and you can't get her to both honor her contract or show up on time to set? I'm closing my eyes and bowing my head. I really don't need to hear this shit first thing in the morning, especially not without my coffee. I'd even consider going out to the gas station and buying some smokes, but Bethany convinced me to quit smoking. No, I can't do that to her. As if God himself heard my pleas, help has arrived. I feel Bethany take firm hold of my wrist and ease a large hot cup of coffee into my hand. I open my eyes fully and see the Corgan twins smiling as they're passing out Starbucks to everybody. I take those first couple of sips of that wonderful caffeine juice and know things are going to be good already. Then I mouth my gratitude to the Corgans. Jenny gives me one of her flirting winks again. Truthfully, I know she's flirting with me just to give Bethany shit, because my girlfriend's pointing sharply at her. What the hell are you talking about, a giant lizard thing in your room? Enrique yells. There's a lizard creature in our movie. Didn't you read the goddamn script? Then he gets really frustrated and goes to the script for a minute. Then he tells us we're going to shoot the later scenes Lizzie's not in. I walk into another one of the small conference rooms with Bethany so we can enjoy our coffees before the Corgans have to apply our makeup. The Corgans also gave me a new dress to change into, one that doesn't have the fake blood on it. It sure was tough trying to keep my big naturals packed inside my dress last night. I know what to expect in Corgan Twins movies by now, and that means lots of TNA. Sex sells, right? Just as I finish packing my tits in the new dress, I feel something behind me. And it damn sure ain't Bethany, especially since I can hear her right in front of me. Then I see my honey's scared face. Holy fucking shit, Vicky. I turn around and see Bethany and me both see that fucking giant lizard in here with us. Real nice, Jenny, I mutter. Decide to sneak in here so you can see me naked again. Tell you what, how about I let Bethany snap some titty pics of me so she can send them to your phone? Honey? The Corgan twins were the ones handing out the coffees in the other room, Bethany reminds me. So how could Jenny be in here with us right now? When I realize she's right, I quickly pick up my coffee and take another drink. I gotta fucking wake up. We both turn to the lizard now. Okay, asshole, I snap. Who the fuck are you? Bethany points right at the lizard. Cody, that better not be you inside that suit, you shitheel. I mean it. I will kick your fucking ass all over this convention. But the lizard suddenly picks Bethany up, real easy, and hisses loudly right in her face. Oh, God, your breath reeks, Bethany groans. It doesn't take long before Bethany and me know. This person ain't wearing no costume. It really is a lizard monster. Bethany and me scream and I drop the rest of my coffee. Then I kick the monster's shin to make it let go of Bethany, forgetting I'm barefoot. Ow, God damn it! When that thing drops her, we turn and run like hell. It ain't long before we're both turning the corner and running Enrique down. We quickly stop and turn around to watch him get up fast. I've heard of falling for sexy girls, but this ain't what I had in mind, he tells us. Then he points to me. And why don't you got your heels on, Vicky? We're getting ready to shoot the next kill scene with you. Bethany points behind him and gulps. There's a giant lizard in that room where Bethany and me were changing. I finish for her. A real one, not Jesse wearing that suit Jenny rigged up. Enrique shakes his head slowly. I told you girls it wasn't a good idea to be drinking when we finished last night. We didn't, I protest. We didn't even get high. Enrique throws up his arms. Okay, fine. Let's go look at this giant lizard then. We follow Enrique back to the room. When we're right outside the double doors, we tell him to be careful. Enrique throws all caution to the wind and throws open the doors. He goes inside and walks all the way around the table and chairs. Yeah, there's a really big lizard monster in here, he mocks. Guess we better get the hotel manager involved and have him call the exterminator. While we're at it, why don't we call the police and have him send over a sketch artist so you can give him a description? I mean, this'll be a matter of national security here. Then he loses his shit. Are you fucking kidding me here? Then I lose my shit. Look, you reject from the funny farm. Bethany and me both know what we saw. We weren't drinking and we weren't taking any hits. We really did see a fucking giant lizard man in this room. Again, not Jesse Corgan wearing that costume. Enrique just looks at us. Then he takes a deep breath. Okay then, he points to my bare legs and feet. Would you please just put your heels on so we can do the next scene? Then he points further up at me. And definitely repack those before you come back out. I look down and see my boobs are looking right at Enrique. God damn it! Enrique walks right past us. Place is in 5 minutes, people! As soon as he leaves, I tighten my fists and growl. It's too early for this shit, and I lost my fucking coffee. If it's any consolation, baby, I believe you, Bethany says. I saw it too. Hurry up and repack those, then we'll get you another coffee in the lobby. Something told me we'd be seeing that lizard again before too long. Perspective, Bethany Mirren. It's now Saturday morning. Shooting continues with Vicky and me in the next scene. This time, Nellie Trist and Ben Devers from Slasher 2 are with us. They were also with us in Enrique's latest Babysitter Massacre. Nellie played Mercedes and Ben played Hunter. I know for Ben, playing a piece of shit like Hunter was a challenge since he's normally typecasted to play nice guys. He just has that kind of a face. In fact, he and Nellie are playing a couple attending the con, even though they are a real couple. The two of them run into Vicky and me. There are plenty of people in the dealer room. Note that they're all people who paid to get the VIP passes, which gets them the privilege of being extras in the movie, just like in Slasher 2, which will be screening here just this afternoon. We're all talking for a little bit. Note that this scene takes place after Cody was killed. I know Vicky and I are supposed to think we're safe in the dealer room itself. After several minutes of going through our lines, we hear some of the VIPs screaming. Vicky and I both look like we're ready to pee ourselves when we see the lizard creature coming into the dealer room. It slashes people who are unfortunate enough to be in its way. "Run!" I yell. But the creature sees us and is on us. Then it grabs hold of Vicky's hair and pulls her back. "No!" I scream, knowing people are about to see why Vicky was spending some quality time much earlier this morning with the Corgan twins. We were supposed to shoot Vicky's death scene yesterday, but some technical difficulties came up. But she's in full makeup and ready this morning and now. Vicky's screaming and begging and pleading for us to help her, but the creature is already making her bleed from her head fast. Everybody's seeing this and screaming and gasping when the creature starts peeling the very flesh from Vicky's head. I'm just glancing over at Enrique and seeing he's loving every bit of these special effects. Jesse in the lizard costume is working the skin applications off Vicky. Then Vicky lets off one loud and long and final blood-curdling scream as she tries running from the creature. The problem here is that when she runs, she loses the rest of her skin and clothes in the process. Now Vicky's truly naked, since she's nothing but blood and muscles. When the Corgan twins said they were going all out for this movie, they really meant it. Vicky's really hysterical now and runs smack into the wall. Then she falls flat on her back and doesn't know where the fuck she's at. The creature swings an arm and makes us get back. Then it goes even further still and opens Vicky up to remove her intestines. Vicky acts like she's in so much pain and agony, the creature bites the intestines in its hand until they snap. Now Vicky's character's officially dead and gone. From there, the creature lowers itself and begins to snack on her further. Enrique calls cut. I think we're all impressed at how far Jenny's come with her elevated special effects. Hen's really excited at how well the scene went off, but that excitement doesn't last long when Lizzie still ain't nowhere to be found. The Corgan twins are aware of this too, but they've got to take care of getting all the makeup and appliances off Vicky, which Enrique understands. "I just want to shoot the scenes that don't require effects," Enrique groans. "But Lizzie is supposed to be in those scenes." He turns to us. "She better have some Oscar-winning performances when the Corgan twins take her to court." That's all I gotta say on that. I raise my hands in front of me. "Listen, Enrique, how about me, Nellie, and Ben go and look for her?" "Ben and I both know what room she's staying in," Nellie says. "Yeah, her room's only a few doors down from us," Ben adds. Enrique nods quickly. "If you don't mind, we can't get much else done at the moment." He looks at his clipboard. "I definitely can't get any more scenes shot without Lizzie." He looks up at us. "Just find her, please." He quickly raises his finger. "And don't forget about the Slasher 2 screening." "We know, we're part of the panel for that," Ben tells him. Then the three of us turn and look around the dealer room a couple of times. Of course, Lizzie's not going to be in here, but we had to make sure. When Ben suggests going to Lizzie's room, we leave the dealer room and head into the first floor hallway. We walk past several rooms before we come to Lizzie's room. Nellie knocks on the door. It ain't long before it opens up. Imagine our disappointment when we see it's Doug, her agent. "Lizzie's not here," he quickly tells us. "You know where she is?" Ben asks. He shakes his head quickly. "Lizzie's not here." I take a pretty big risk and push right past this wuss and go into the room. "Hey, you can't come in here," Doug protests. "Fuck off." I quickly tell him. Then I go to the bathroom and push the door open. Okay, she's not in here either. Again, had to be sure. I turn to look at Doug and point at him. Why do I get the feeling you know something about Lizzie? Doug puts his hands up in front of him and shakes his head. I don't know anything. I go right to him. And you're a lying wuss. Then I catch him looking at my naked cleavage. I grin and almost laugh. Either you start spilling it or I'll suffocate you with my 30 J's. He doesn't think I'll do it. One thing people soon find out is that you never want to test me. I may be a very proud porn star with some surgically enhanced, ample bounty, but at the end of the day, I'm still very much a Mirren, and we Mirrens always get what we want. Doug cries out when I grab hold of him and shove his face right into my cleavage. I hold him there and shake myself, making some sexy noises to really rattle him up. Nellie and Ben are holding their hands over their mouths to keep from laughing. Doug quickly taps my shoulder. Like I said, he's a wuss. Also, he definitely can't breathe. When I let him go, he's all scared of me now. Talk, I snap, or I'll stuff you right back in and keep you there, and I won't let go when you tap out again. He telegraphs he's going to make a run for it. I quickly go at him and take him down to the bed. Then I get on top of him. Enjoy motorboating me again, you pissant. No, stop, Doug yells. Get off me, I'll talk. Nellie and Ben were losing their shit the entire time. Well, you can't really blame them for laughing it up, I suppose. Then again, I think I made a lot of people laugh during Daddy's Little Killer with how spontaneous and unpredictable I can be. I smile to myself when I know Vicky appreciates that about me. Doug points past me. Look on the table. Nellie's still laughing when she moves around the bed and picks up a golden lizard figure off the table. She starts getting serious when she examines it. Then she looks at Doug. Okay, what about it? Doug tells us how Lizzie was given this figure from some old man in the dealer room on Thursday night after her blow-up with Enrique. He explains how one of the ruby teeth pricked her finger. The next morning, yesterday morning, she was this giant lizard thing. I really don't know how else to explain it, Doug mutters. Since Vicky and I both saw the creature ourselves and felt and smelled its awful breath and spit on us, you know what? Vicky, me, and the Corgan twins had that run-in with some actual ghouls during the filming of Slasher 2, and that was just last year. We all know ghouls are 1,000% fucking real, right? So why not that lizard creature that totally wasn't Jesse Corgan? I sigh and tell Doug. I believe you. Now, do you know where Lizzie might be? Maybe we can help her. I raise my finger. Oh, you don't want to talk? All I gotta do is start caressing my inner boob to make him start spilling his guts. I really love my babies.
Did you hear that? Better check the locks on your doors. Weekly Spooky will be right back.
Perspective, Vicky Valentine. It didn't take the Corgan twins nearly as long to get the special effects makeup off as it took for them to apply it. I really think it's going to be a matter of time before Jenny gets snatched up by Hollywood. Maybe Jessie, too. Jessie's a creative genius with her scripts, and Jenny's got the gift for makeup and other practical effects. I think that may be another reason why I keep doing any and all movies the Corgans want to cast me for. I really love working with those twins. Between them, Bethany, and me, we're a family. I'm on my way back to my room to shower up and go sit at my table in the dealer room for a little while before the Slasher 2 screening and panel. Then I get a text from Bethany. She wants me to meet her, Nellie, and Ben at Lizzie's room and includes the number. When I get to the room, I knock and am let in by Bethany. What's going on? I ask, seeing Doug, Lizzie's agent, is there too. We finally found Lizzie, Bethany tells me. But we can't bring her back to Enrique. Come with us and you'll understand. I've seen that look on Bethany's face plenty of times in our relationship to know what she's going to show me ain't going to be good. We leave the room and have to be real sneaky when we slip into the door leading down into the hotel basement. I gasp when I see the hulking form of the lizard creature, the real one, standing there. When I point a shanky finger at it, Bethany nods slowly. This is Lizzie, she assures me. Bethany tells me how she became the giant lizard and shows me the little golden lizard figurine with some jewels on it. At first, I'm skeptical. Then Ben hands me a notebook and tells me Lizzie wrote the words I'm seeing. The writing looks a little shaky, but he assures me it's hers. I'm Lizzie. Help me, please. At first, I ain't sure whether to believe it, but Bethany would never lie to me. Also, I remember the ghouls from when we filmed Slasher 2. I also remember how Bethany and me were both scared shitless when Lizzie first came to us like this yesterday. Okay, what do we do? I ask. How do we help Lizzie? Then Lizzie points to Doug. He turns the page in the notebook and hands it to her. She snatches it and writes something with her pen, holding it between her pointy finger and her thumb. Sort of. When she finished, she hands the notebook to Bethany. Old man in dealer room. Tinker. Then I say to Lizzie, problem there is Bethany and me have seen enough older men in the dealer room, you'd have to point him out to us. As Lizzie motions for Doug to flip another page in the notebook, I have an idea. Why don't you just show us yourself? People will think you're in the Corgan's lizard costume. Nobody'll know the difference. Lizzie shakes her head. Bethany backs me up. Lizzie, if we have to go up and search for him ourselves, we may not find the right guy. You heard Vicky. We've seen plenty of vendors who fit your description of the man. Just come with us. We'll all go with you. The sooner we find your man, the sooner we may be able to get you back to normal. Lizzie reluctantly agrees. From there, we sneak back out of the basement. That's when a member of the hotel staff catches us and tells us he's going to get the manager on us. When he sees Lizzie behind us, he remembers we're the people making the next slasher movie and steps aside. As we're walking the hallways, I glance over my shoulder. See, Lizzie? Nobody knows the difference. They really do think you're somebody in the Corgan's lizard suit. When we come back out into the lobby, the convention and the dealer room are officially open for the day, and Enrique is right there. Let me guess. None of you found Lizzie, he snaps. Apparently, Lizzie's still pissed off at Enrique. She steps up to him and hisses right in his face. Then Nellie quickly gets in between them. No, she tells Lizzie. It's not time for another lizard scene. Then she glances at Enrique. Is it? Enrique's just giving all of us evil stares now. Let me put this to you kids in the simplest way I can spell it out for you. Then he gives us a wicked smile before he erupts. I want Lizzie Jones. I've finally had enough. Okay then, Enrique, fuck you. I gesture right to Lizzie, like I'm presenting her on a game show. Here she is. Lizzie again hisses loudly at Enrique. If I didn't know better, she looks ready to pick him up and stick him down her gullet. I remember seeing videos about various lizards just before I graduated from Strickfield University, after we filmed the first slasher. If anything, Lizzie looks like a crossbreed between a humanoid and a Komodo dragon, a member of the monitor lizard family. I know Komodo dragons are definitely the deadliest of the monitor lizard species. For the record, I wanted to leave porn and go into zoology. I've got my degree to at least get me started. It'll be something to fall back on if my acting career ever goes south. Based on all the horror movie and convention offers I keep getting, not to mention my weekly gig with Up All Night with Veronica, that ain't gonna happen, at least anytime soon. Nellie again has to calm Lizzie down. No, Lizzie. Enrique's not food. Anyway, he'd probably give you bad indigestion. Enrique tightens his fists and points right at Lizzie. Get out of that suit right now. In fact, you're going to do your scenes right here and now, in your birthday suit, like in your contract. I am not giving back my paycheck because you're too much of a... Suddenly, Lizzie grabs Enrique and lifts him right off the floor. Then she looks him right in the face. He leans in and gives her just as much of a mean look. Hey, we can keep doing this dance all day, he tells her, but you will be on full display for the cameras one way or another. I'm about ready to laugh. If only Enrique knew just how naked Lizzie really is right this second. Ben steps in to help Nellie. Lizzie, the dealer's room's right here. Remember what you wanted to show us? Lizzie slowly puts Enrique down. Then she turns and leads us into the dealer room. Now Enrique's hanging with us and giving Lizzie more shit. Get it straight. You are not going to be Lizzie the Lizard in this movie, he tells her. If I gotta stick to you like glue, if I gotta go across the whole country with you, if I gotta move in with you, if I gotta chain myself to you, you will be doing your scenes in that script. We finally get to the table Lizzie wants to show us. However, did the dealer just pack up and leave? Ben asks in a dumbfounded tone. It's true. All there is are 2 empty tables. Lizzie tightens her fists and hisses loudly up at the ceiling. The convention goers who see her are thinking it's the Corgan suit and are loving Lizzie's, performance. Then Lizzie puts her hands to her head. God, she must really be at her emotional lowest right now. I can't begin to imagine what she must be feeling. I can only think of what might have happened if Victoria, the matriarch of her ghoul family, had injected me with her blood and brought me into her family. Maybe that's why I cry whenever Bethany tells me she loves me. Because I was so close to losing her, forever that night. I just can't imagine my life without her in it now. Now Lizzie's looking at us, as if asking what she's gonna do. As Enrique keeps giving Lizzie a hard time, I remember I have the golden lizard figurine on me. Then I quickly turn to Enrique. Hey, I got a brilliant idea. You got your phone on you? Enrique glares at me now. Are you even serious right now, Vicky? Well, we all left our phones in our rooms, Bethany tells him. The Corgans said no phones on set. You being the director, I'm sure you got yours. I show Enrique the figurine. Please Google this thing and see if there's anything on it. I ain't got time for that, he fires back. We got these scenes to shoot. Do you understand time is money? Or did you never learn that from all the movies you made? I take a deep breath and look Enrique in the face. What will it take for you to do this one favor for me? Enrique, don't waste no time. Some alone time with you. And my camera. I want some good quality pics of you for my Patreon. I take another deep breath. Done. Then I raise my finger. If you can find info on this figurine. I lower my hand and smirk. No find, no time. Enrique's that determined to get those nudes of me for his Patreon. To be fair, I've seen the NSFW pics he's taken on his Patreon. He's a great photographer, I must say. He's been trying to get 100 Patreon backers for quite a while now. For the last few years, he's come close. Anyway, Hen pulls his smartphone out and starts doing some digging on the web. Perspective, Enrique Couto. Seriously, I'll never understand why I put up with actors and their weird requests. I have to ask for a little help and text Rachel back in Dayton. I even send her a pic of the golden lizard statue Vicky's holding on to. It would be so much easier if Rachel was here with me, but she couldn't come since she had family commitments she couldn't get out of. It takes a little time, but eventually Rachel finally sends me a link. I tap on it and see a pic that looks exactly like the little lizard statue. I read the text on it to myself. I think I'm going to have to talk about this on Monthly Spooky in a few weeks with Michelle Antisocial. I turn my phone around to show the others. Vicky takes my phone and compares the pic to the little gold statue. I think this is it, Vicky tells the others. I watch Vicky move her mouth as she's reading it. Next thing, she looks like someone just punched her in the gut. What? I ask. She looks at me first. Then she looks at the others. Not here. I motion for us to leave the dealer room. They follow me into our meeting room. We go in and see the Corgans working on their lizard suit. Then if that's the actual lizard suit, the Corgans are just as shocked as me when they see the big lizard come in with us. What's going on here? Jesse asks all of us. Did you order up another lizard suit and didn't tell us, Hen? Jenny asks just me. Bethany closes the doors behind us. Then she says to the Corgans, remember how we found out ghouls were real last year? Well, this is actually Lizzie. Vicky holds up the little statue. Bethany points to it.
This thing turned Vicky into what you're seeing right now. The Corgans just look at Lizzie in amazement now. For the record, she can understand you, Nellie says. She just can't speak the way we speak. Fortunately, she can still write. Kind of. I point to Vicky. Okay, you read something on that site I gave you. What is it? Vicky sighs. If this article is correct, and I don't know why it wouldn't be, the webpage is on National Geographic. Apparently, this little golden lizard is supposed to be cursed. You become afflicted with it if you're very selfish and conceited. Lizzie the lizard makes this weird noise like she's gasping or something. Vicky adds, the only way to break the curse is for someone else to get pricked by this thing who's willing and ain't selfish and conceited. She looks at everybody. I think that means one of us gets pricked with the teeth to free Lizzie that's willing to put their ass on the line. Vicky shakes her head and starts crying. It ain't me. I'm much too selfish when it comes to Bethany. I can't bear to be without her, and I won't leave her alone in this fucked up world. Bethany sighs and says Vicky's right. Also, for the same reason Bethany says it can't be her. Nellie and Ben reveal they're married and feel the same way as Vicky and Bethany. Even the Corgans admit the same thing, which I guess I can understand since they're identical twin sisters. I'll do it, I finally say. I ain't too sure I believe in all this. Then I look at Lizzie. But I guess I really am seeing a giant lizard right here in front of me. I sigh and shake my head. Boy, Rachel and Dave are never going to believe this when I get home to Dayton. Now everybody's looking at me. Are you really sure? Nellie asks. What if after Lizzie turns back, you turn into a lizard? I look at Vicky. Does the article say anything about that? Vicky shakes her head. I read the article to myself 4 times. I'm thinking you become a lizard if you're truly conceited and selfish. Then I'll just do it. Ow! My finger bleeds a little after I poke it on one of the golden lizard's teeth. Everybody else is looking worried now. We sit in the meeting room and wait. And wait. And wait. Lizzie didn't turn right away after she was pricked herself. Doug pipes up. Damn, I forgot he was even with us. Must have been hiding behind Lizzie the whole time. One of the Corgans points right past me. Look! We all turn to see Lizzie shrinking down, changing. Soon Lizzie's herself again. Naked, but she's Lizzie Jones again. One of the twins picks up a drop cloth and brings it to cover Lizzie. Am I really back? Lizzie says in her own voice. Looks like you're still you, Hen, Ben tells me. I have to admit, I'm a little worried now. Guess we'll see in the morning. Lizzie starts crying now. I've been such a bitch. I made everything about me ever since I made it big in Hollywood. I've never been happy, even then. She looks my way now and drops the cloth. Enrique, let's get this over with and shoot those scenes. I think the Corgans are relieved they won't have to take Lizzie to court after all. You sure you're up for it? I ask. She sighs. I don't really want to, but I signed my contract and got paid. I get my phone back from Vicky and text everyone else who isn't here that shooting's going to continue after the Slasher 2 movie and panel. Right now, everybody involved with that movie has to go there. This is turning out to be one hell of a weekend here at Ridgeway Heights. Like I said, Rachel and Dave are never going to believe my story when I get back home to Dayton.
I like it spooky. Weekly Spooky will be right back.
Epilogue, present day, perspective, Vicky Valentine.
The screening of Slasher Valentine Screams went over pretty well. It ended up being standing room only. Some of the convention goers there complained that the Scream Queen wasn't in it. When we did the Q&A afterwards, that was the first question asked. Jessie said when she wrote the script, she intended for this movie to kind of be an homage to Halloween 3 in the fact that Michael Myers wasn't actually in it. That and the Corgans really wanted a reason to use the lizard suit Jenny worked so hard on between Slasher 2 and this movie. And get this, some of the people who really did enjoy Slasher Valentine screams are calling the lizard monster simply Slash, a name that just went viral. Enrique also answered questions and talked about directing the movie. For the record, not one of us so much as brought up Lizzie the Lizard. I'm still surprised that Lizzie and Doug actually came to the screening, or that Lizzie agreed to be part of the panel. Last Bethany and me checked, Lizzie had just won another Oscar prior to coming to this year's convention. Again, it was for a drama where she did a lot of nudity and sex. I also read Lizzie's starring in some other dramas coming out later in the year, so she's definitely back in the Hollywood spotlight again. When the panel's over, we all go back into the dealer room and finish out the weekend. At the end of the convention, Bethany and me stay in Ridgeway Heights on Sunday night so we can start celebrating Valentine's Day, which would actually be Monday. Bethany surprises me by having a bouquet of mixed red and black roses together on the bed. We go out to a special dinner at a fancy restaurant to celebrate. Bethany and me have been together for 2 years now, but we've known each other for 3. When we get back to our room, Bethany has one more surprise for me that completely catches me off guard. First, she tells me she knows we've known each other for 3 years. She also says she knows I'm the one. I kind of feel where this is going, but it's still great shock value to me when Bethany gets on one knee and asks me to marry her. She even presents me with a ruby engagement ring. Bethany always hurts me deep when she says she loves me, but she truly made me come apart. I'm a fucking scream queen, and only this beautiful, amazing woman can keep bringing me to tears. I don't even have to answer Bethany. That's how much she really knows me. I let her put the ring on my finger. Like I said, people have told me never marry your first relationship, but I honestly don't give a fuck about that now. Yes, Bethany Mirren's both my first love and my first real relationship, but I honestly can't see myself with anybody else. If by chance Bethany and me fall apart later in life, then we fall apart. I just know I can't know for sure since I can't predict the future. Bethany and me have always been there for each other since we became friends. Fuck it. I'm going for it. We immediately set our wedding date for next Valentine's Day. She even gives me one more surprise when she shows me the Corgan twins' next script for the continuation of the original timeline in the slasher series, following the first 2 movies. You're definitely going to be back as the Scream Queen, Bethany tells me. I look at the script and see the title. Slasher, Valentine Hell. I really don't care how many slasher movies Bethany and me do together. I just know I want to spend the rest of my life with Bethany. I want to grow old and die with her. Again, you just never know unless you go for it. Speaking of never knowing, you want to know what's been bugging me since last year's con? That golden lizard statue just disappeared right after we restored Lizzie back to her human form. I told Bethany about it. It's just as much a mystery to her, too, because she don't know what happened to it either. Well, I guess there's really no point in worrying about it, huh? Enrique Couto's still human and doing okay. I mean, he made it to this weekend's con, right? Also, I suppose as long as none of us are walking around as a giant Komodo dragon, that's all that matters, right? Speaking of Enrique Couto, Bethany and me actually got scripts for a sequel to Babysitter Massacre: Daddy's Little Killer. We can't believe he really wrote a sequel. Sounds like the fans are demanding the return of Larkin Combs, so that means Aaron Mercer's also returning. Looks like we're doing Babysitter Massacre: This Little Piggy very soon. But for tonight and tomorrow, those movies can wait. All that matters to me right now is Bethany Mirren, and I focus all of my attention and energy on her as we undress and consummate both our anniversary and our engagement. I guess you'll have to wait until the next sequel to see what happens from here. Happy Valentine's Day. Aftermath. Perspective, Elizabeth Jones. Doug and I stay for one more night after the convention's over. It's Monday and Valentine's Day. We went out and had dinner and then to a theater to see my latest Oscar-winning movie. There was quite the attendance in our screening of Island Paradise. After the screening, we return to the Hilton and go back to our room. Once we're inside, I close and lock the door. I turn my attention to my husband and go to him. I let him touch me and kiss me as much as he wants. I suppose I owe him something after I won yet another Oscar. I let Doug undress me and have his heart's desire this Valentine's Day. Doug looks ready to be done with our fuck marathon, but I move and put him on his back and sit on him, taking him inside me again. Now I look down at him. You know, Doug, I do understand that we've been married for 3 years now, I tell him as I caress my gorgeous breasts. I keep wondering when you'd finally ever realize that I've never once told you I loved you, no matter how many times you've told me. Doug looks at me funny now. Is everything okay, Elizabeth? I shake my head a little. I suppose I appreciate you getting me back on top in the Hollywood scene again. You got me another Oscar-winning movie for my growing resume. But the only jobs I'm still getting are ones where I'm still having to take all my clothes off. All I'm ever going to be known for is my naked body. I push up on my overripe breasts. I know now that I'll never be taken seriously as an actress, even after winning 3 Best Actress Oscars. I reach under the pillow next to him and pull up the golden lizard statue. I'm just going to give it to you straight. I fucking hate you with all my heart, Doug. I say with nothing but the utmost contempt and scorn in my voice. I'm afraid your last night being both my agent and my husband will be tonight in this bed. He screeches like a whiny little bitch when he sees my eyes glowing as green as the ones on the little statue. In other words, Doug, you're fired until death do us part is right fucking now, I tell him with finality. I don't morph back into a full lizard like I did before, but my hatred fuels me enough to ease my claws into Doug's skin like knives through butter. From there, I finally claim his life. Yes, I do wholeheartedly admit I am very selfish and conceited. That's why I'll be keeping this little golden lizard with me. I will own my curse. Starting tomorrow, I'll find myself a new agent or manager who can hopefully guide my career to where I want to be. If my next agent fails, then I'll keep claiming their souls until I find one who can truly satisfy me. After I take a shower and wash all of Doug's blood off me, I get dressed and grab my bags. From there, I leave what's left of my former husband and agent lying in a mess on the bed. Goodbye, Doug. And fuck you, I say before I close the door on him and this chapter of my life for the last time.
Well, my spookies, I hope you enjoyed that little piece of Valentine's horror, an extra long episode just for you all to enjoy this holiday. And like all good romances, it was a bit of a tease as to what may be coming next Valentine's Day. But you'll have to make sure you're subscribed to find out just what's coming next, right here at Weekly Spooky, as well as in Strickfield. And speaking of Valentine's Day treats, this Friday, I'll be releasing another episode of my other podcast, Do You Even Movie, right here on the podcast feed, where we cover one of the most classic Valentine's Day slashers of all time, My Bloody Valentine. So be sure to catch that one this Friday. I think you'll enjoy it. I'm actually right now, as you're listening to this, getting ready to get on set. I'm producing a horror feature film, a monster movie called A Hard Place with director Jay Horton. We're going to have a lot of fun on set, and don't worry, I'll still be here Wednesday to bring you your spooky on the weekly. And I want to take a moment to say an extra special thank you to our Patreon podcast boosters, folks who pay a little bit more to hear their names on the show. And they are Johnny Nix, John Callan, Bobbletopia.com, Jenny Green, Brent McCullough, Karen Weemet, Jack Kerr, and Craig Cohen. If you want to hear your name at the end of every episode, just go to weeklyspooky.com, click on Patreon, and choose any tier at $15 or higher. We really do appreciate the support. It keeps the show going and going. Well, speaking of going, I have to get back to work getting Weekly Spooky ready for you all before I head off to set to make some scary movie magic. So, Make sure you stay safe, but stay spooky. For my executive producers Rob Fields and Mark Shields, my producer Dan Wilder, and my composer Ray Mattis, I will talk at you very, very soon. Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to find your way back next week. But for now, you are safe. Trust me.